Right, welcome to the next episode of the Brotein Bar. We are very happy to have Flex back with us. We are going to talk about his personal experience when it comes to prepping in foreign countries. I think nowadays, when the competition are more prevalent now, you get more of the opportunities to compete, and a lot of the Malaysian athletes are also trying their luck to get better result in other countries, hopefully also getting a pro card also. So people are traveling far and wide to other countries in order to get better opportunities and chances when it comes to this, right? I think for you also, you probably prep for a few competition outside of Malaysia before also?
Yes, betul.
Can you share a bit of your experience then?
Oh, experience tu banyak and mencabar. So basically back in 2021, I traveled to Thailand for competing IBB Pro Qualifier to chase my pro card. And then this year, EIC Bali for regional show. So pengalaman, the reason why I travel to other country because one more thing, I love bodybuilding so much because to make friends, to find new friends, and then to see a culture of bodybuilding at the country that I joined. Then one more thing, best travel.
Yeah. Might as well travel also, right?
After a show, you can wear everything the put at the country lah.
Yeah.
Itulah.
Prepping in your own country is already very hard. You need to be very dedicated. You need to follow the meal plan and all that. But prepping in another country is a bit challenging because you don't know enough of what is there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your experience like?
Oh, masa I di Thailand, it's hard for me. One thing, the most hardest part is language barrier. Because Thailand diorang tak cakap, diorang tak boleh cakap bahasa. Tak boleh cakap bahasa lain. Diorang, kita terpaksa pakai Google Translate, and then macam for us Muslim susah nak dapat makanan kat sana yang halal. And then a lot of makanan kat sana non halal food.
Yep.
So dengan masalah language barrier, and then dengan masalah packaging punya tulisan also pun dah jadi masalah untuk kita. So quite challenging if you travel to other country yang macam mana,
Non-English speaking.
non-English speaking, and also kurang makanan yang halal. So
okay.
It's difficult for us like Muslim punya competitor, memang susah lah nak cari makanan. Contoh macam chicken, dada ayam kalau dengan pork pun lebih kurang kan, kalau
Warna.
dah sama lah. So one more thing, the most challenging part, kalau you compete dekat negara orang, you tak familiar dengan grocery stuff, which place to work out, mana yang convenient dengan you lah. So I ada experience that. So before you nak travel to the country yang you nak compete, better you survey dulu, and then you kena buat well preparation untuk nak pergi compete dekat negara tu. Kalau tidak, you akan rosakkan you punya peak week and susah nak dapat the best result untuk compete kat negara tu lah.
Yeah, I guess when it comes to not familiar with the place also, like for example, the groceries and the gym and all that, we can survey ahead lah. But when it comes to like going into the competition, even taking the flight when you need to get into the country before the competition is also something you need to take care of also kan.
Yeah, betul.
Yeah, like for example, if you are very far away from the country, you better go in like a week before, because there are certain factors that will affect with the water retention when you're on the flight also kan.
Yeah, betul. For me, macam my first experience, kalau macam hari tu lah I compete di Bali, I have problem with my flight because flight is delay. So almost 7 to 8 hours, I skip. It's not skip meal, but the day patutnya I carb load. That mean eat carbs balik untuk fuel my glycogen, tapi disebabkan flight delay, you dekat boarding punya area, you tak boleh nak minum, you tak boleh nak makan because you need to go out and then come in and go out, come in. That's the one problem. And then apa tadi you cakap pasal bloated. Kalau for my apa yang pernah terjadi kat I, apa yang I pernah experience, benda ni kalau boleh, if you nak travel to other country yang lebih jauh daripada you punya country, better datang 1 week earlier or 2 weeks earlier. Better for you because we don't know the country punya environment, weather and everything. So you need to prepare all these kind of things before your punya peak week or something lah. Bagi I lah.
Safer.
Safer lah. Bagi I, you kena one step ahead and plan betul-betul untuk compete dekat negara mana you nak pergi. Macam my experience at Bali, yes, negara sama, time zone sama, but the thing is Bali sangat panas. Dia buat I dehydrated always, but I don't notice that because di Bali dia punya cuaca panas saja. Kita tak apa-apa, we not sweating. Like Malaysian, panas but kita sweating. That's kita tahu kita tengah dehydration dengan flush out water. But dekat Bali, you tak tahu pun. Panas, you tak berpeluh. Tapi end up, you akan sakit tekak sebab terlalu panas. Dehydration lah. Itu my experience lah. So kalau you nak pergi other country, you kena baca betul-betul weather dia. Lagi-lagi kalau negara yang sejuk. Contoh macam I tak tahan sejuk. So maybe akan ada problem dekat I untuk compete di negara-negara like Europe. Macam tu lah. So for me, kalau you nak travel dekat negara yang nak compete dekat negara tu, you kena tahu betul-betul dia punya weather dan time zone lah.
Time zone also is a problem kan. All your sleep also will have.
That's the reason why bagi I, you kena datang earlier 2 weeks, 1 week. Depends on your budget also.
Yeah. It is expensive for us, especially Malaysian, to stay outside for so long also, right?
But if you want to have a good result on your show day, better well prepare lah before go to the country that you want to compete.
Yeah, typically for Malaysian bodybuilder, one of the few favorite country they fly to compete is what country?
From Malaysia, most famous is Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam and Philippines. Because this area is of Southeast Asia.
Still close enough.
Still close enough. And then the travel time 1 hour, few hours really. I'm not experienced like macam pergi Japan, belum pernah pergi lah 7 jam, Korea berapa jam, Australian.
But recently also a lot of people going to Japan, Singapore to compete also, right?
Japan, maybe the show is very hype, very good competitor dekat sana to challenge yourself maybe. Ada orang macam ada competitor dia macam pergi to the country because
they want to
after show diorang nak travel.
So they choose based on the country they want to go.
And then for me, bagi I, you need to know which show you want to go. And then you kena macam pandai sikit lah baca plan. Which show lagi senang sikit, boleh cari makan. Ada
chances better kat mana.
Kalau boleh macam show Indian ada Olympia Amateur and then Korea also ada Olympia Amateur. So maybe lots of people going to Indian because more cheaper. And then sometimes India have what they call fitness expo.
Yes.
They can meet a lots of Olympian there, macam Phil Heath, Kai Green pergi sana kan. So the show at Korea, less people pergi. So you kena pandai lah which show you
strategize lah
pergi the show lah.
I see.
For me lah, untuk memudahkan you nak dapat pro card and all going to Olympic.
Depending on your objective lah. Okay, I see.
For me lah, lawan lagi senang, lagi mudah lah.
Try to go far with the minimum costs. I see. Okay. But when it comes to preparing in a foreign country also, you don't know what you don't know, kan? You can research, survey based on what you think you need to know. Tapi sometimes you cannot anticipate what is happening also, kan? Bound to have horror story lah, certain nightmares, right? What are your personal experience when it comes to things like that?
My horror story paling sedih is show di Thailand. Back then 2021, after hard time, all around the country, whole world struggling with COVID punya era. So that time after our government bagi travel, I decide to compete at Thailand because the near show that have a pro card. So 1 week before show, tak sakit tak apa, and then suddenly last day before flight, I woke up dengan one of my partner. And then suddenly dia baru recover from COVID. And then I tak tahu yang I kena COVID. I berjangkit dari dia.
Okay.
So I travel to Thailand. Everything's going well, good, everything happy. Suddenly touchdown Thailand, straight away dorang punya government bawa kita orang pergi hospital. COVID positif di Thailand. So my 14 days dekat Thailand sangat teruk. I tak dapat compete, tak dapat naik stage. I duduk di hotel quarantine saja for 10 days. That's the horror story lah.
Yeah, no matter what you can plan also, sometimes this kind of thing, especially when it comes to world pandemic also, it's very difficult to predict lah. Then the other one that you talked about was
the second one. My experience is this year going to Bali for competing regional for NPC. First of all, flight delay. Dekat sini I nak bagi satu tips. Kalau you ada bajet lebih, just ambil tambang flight yang better, yang tak ada delay.
yeah, get better flight lah. PSA.
Yeah. My flight delay for 7 hours, so I cannot manage to eat for carb loads day because I fly 3 days before the show. From the starting, memang flight supposed to be on the Monday, but suddenly got email flight will be on Tuesday. And then on the Tuesday, start a flight supposed to be 4 p.m. and then delay for 7 p.m. and then 11, and then I arrive at Bali is 5 a.m. in the morning. So whole day, almost half day dekat airport saja.
Just waiting for your
Just
flight.
waiting immigration, flight and everything, blah blah blah. And then straight away my body burn out, bloated, digestion problem and everything. Yes, I compete dekat EIC Bali, but the result,
It wasn't the best condition that you had.
macam you cakap tadi, kita boleh plan tapi kita tak tahu benda yang akan jadi kan. So benda ni kalau boleh you kena experience banyak kali lah.
Then you will know how to navigate.
Macam mana you nak avoid this kind of thing lah. Macam mana nak elak the bloated from night flight, and then water retention from flight delay and everything lah. Need to know how to overcome this kind of thing. You can experience benda tu lah.
Yeah.
Untuk counter back this kind of problem.
So know how to plan for
Yeah.
this. Yeah. So given that you have all this horror story and your personal experience with prepping in foreign country, how would you plan for your next one if you are going to compete in another country? What would be the ideal approach for you?
After I dah belajar this kind of two horror story, like I need to well prepare and understanding more of my body.
Also,
Previous show EIC, I have water retention and bloated, so I need to know how to manage this kind of problem towards to my body. So maybe come more earlier.
Okay. I think that one alone can help a lot also already kan.
And then prepare the meal that you can eat and suit for your digestion for your at masa you dekat atas flight. So probably you can
extra just in case.
well prepare and everything. And then macam I cakap tadi, you kena ada budget sikit, ambil je flight.
Better flight.
Better.
I think overall, if you have a little bit more budget, you fly in earlier.
Yes.
You get better flight.
Yeah.
Then you bring a little bit extra food in case of delay and all that. You probably have a little bit more better prep experience in a sense lah. And when you are in a country where you don't know about anything, plan ahead, find out more. Then that would help you to pick properly for the competition in another country lah kan.
Yes, betul. Then macam bagi I, kalau you nak compete to other country, you need to have a friend there at the country. Maybe Thailand, you have your kawan.
You know
someone there to easy your job to find a grocery, gym and everything, right? Last time I going to Bangkok, I tak ada kawan lagi, so I need to find grocery, which is easier to find rice cake, basmati, chicken breast and everything. I did that at Bali, good because I know a lot of bodybuilder from Indonesia, so they helped me a lot when I was in Bali.
Okay. So if you have a friend there, so it's going to be easier. I see.
You need to make friends all around the country for bodybuilder. So easy what compete.
Yeah, if you compete enough, I guess you will eventually also know more people like that.
Yeah.
So it's here are some of the tips and tricks that you can do to prep ahead for foreign countries. At the end of the day, you can't tell exactly what will happen, but if you have the budget, maybe one important thing you can plan for is to have a better budget so that you fly in earlier, you can get better flight, you can, buy, if anything, there's any emergency, anything, so there's way to work with a friend or a local that you know there for a better prepping experience in the competition lah,
Yeah.
in the foreign country. Okay, so thank you, Mifex, for your sharing. I think this one will help people to really open their eyes to consider certain things before they go to the next competition, when they're considering competing in Thailand, Indonesia, or perhaps even Korea or Japan, down the road. Yeah, so hopefully we will be able to see more Malaysian bodybuilders go out and represent Malaysia to compete in other countries like
To experience to the other country and to see the others competitor from another country.
to meet also. Then potentially more people from another country, then you can go there and compete also.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming. Yeah, so stay tuned to the next episode of the Brotein Bar. Thank you.